Hi, how are you? It's me, Jean Harville, the founder of Raising Kids Who Love to Read by Jean Harville, and Facebook group, and this page, Helping Kids with Reading, and also the creator of Reading Confidence Academy. So I had said in my title there, can we change the way we empower our kids? Sure, we can. We can change that. But, it seems simple to just maybe think different thoughts or just change our ways. It's not easy, though. It goes against what we have believed for decades. And it's what we were wired to believe. It's not right or it's not wrong. It's what we needed to get through school and to get to where we are now. So, however, our education system, our curriculum, and our rules and notion of learning have become more about the outward reward, right? We were talking about that on Tuesday. It's more extrinsic than the internal motivation, right? And so we want to take a look at that and why that's so important, that our kids need to be motivated from within and that they are in control of their learning. So it's going to take a shift on our part because we came up through the school system and we think of schools a certain way. And, whether you had a good experience or a bad experience, it's shaped the way you are and the way you think and the way that you parent, believe it or not, right? So it's a shift that we need to make, and it's a shift that we need to make, not our kids. Our kids are fine. It's us, and it's me included as well as everybody. So all of us as parents need to see, need to shift, and we want our kids to be able to turn their lights on so that they can see their possibilities of what they are capable of doing, because that's what's going to motivate them internally when they see the possibilities that they have and the way that they think is awesome, right? And so we parents want this for our kids. I mean, I don't know about you, but I do. So our kids' mental health depends on being motivated on that, having that inner drive, that inner reason, that inner importance of having value, feeling safe, and being loved. And these are the three basic needs that every human being wants, right? And so we parents want these from our kids. I'm reading some of my notes here because I want to make sure I get all this in. And in fact, some of our parents may have craved one of these, or maybe in your growing up, you craved at some point, something happened or something was said to you where maybe you were like, okay, I'm not being valued, or I don't feel loved, and I don't feel safe. I mean, those are the three basic needs that humans have. And at some point in your life, one of those may have been like scratched at or ticked or kind of released, and you started thinking, oh, I really don't feel safe, or I don't really feel valued. For me, it's value. And so I can think back to incidences and situations that occurred in my growing up that caused me to feel not valued, right? And not enough. And so there's different ways of saying that, but it all boils down to not feeling valued, not feeling enough, right? And so things like not feeling safe can also be a problem for some of our kids. And then also not feeling enough, right? Not feeling safe, not feeling valued, and not feeling important as well. So, there's three basic needs that we all of us human beings need. So we want parents to want these for our kids, right? We as parents want all these. We want to not have our kids feeling this way. And so it seems like that thoughts create emotions, right? I mean, we know this, that thoughts create emotions, and one of these needs may have been hardwired in our brain. And again, this is not your fault. So, innocent comments may have occurred. Maybe some bullying happened or some situations happened in your life. You have to think back to what that is for you and maybe why you have certain comments or thoughts that pass through your brain. And you're like, where did that come from? I don't believe that. At least I don't think so. But guess what? The thought paired with an emotion and that's repeated over time becomes a belief, becomes a limiting belief in your thought process or in your brain. And so from that belief is where you make your parenting decisions and make your parenting statements to your kids. And so really when you hear, like, you hear your mom coming out of your mouth or your dad coming out of your mouth, and you're like, oh, I did not like that when that was said to me before, so why am I saying that to my own kids, right? Where is it coming from? That's where you take that deep dive and you take that exploration into the backgrounds of where is that coming from. And I'll tell you, 95% of the parents will not even go there. They won't recognize it, and they're not going to even want to change that because they don't understand that that we parent from that false belief or that limiting belief, which causes our kids to, take upon them that belief, and that creates that dissonance and also can create them that not having a well-being as well, right? And so it kind of turns their lights off to learning because they're thinking, well, I'm not good enough anyway. Why should I bother trying to learn this because I'm not appreciated, right? Hi, Laura. And so, like I said, 95% of parents will not take these actions to figure out what is driving what they're saying, their beliefs that they have, And so, like I said, you've heard things, you've grown up, things were said to you, and you remember thinking, ouch, that really hurt, I would never, ever say that to my own child because I don't believe that, right? But guess what? It comes out of your mouth, and you're like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that because it's hardwired into your brain. So shifting your old thinking to a more empowering thought sounds like the thing to do, right? Easy? maybe not, right? And so did you ever think that parenting would be easy? Sure. I look at my parents, I'm like, I can act like that. I can parent a child just like that, right? But parenting is like a hunt. It's a search for the right way to raise your child. But actually, parenting is transformation of yourself, of your own thinking, transforming you, because we don't stop growing once we hit adult. We continue to grow. And as we become adult-like in our thinking, we can start rationalizing, we start thinking about things that happened in the past as a child and thinking, that probably was not a good thing because it's led to my thinking this way. And so as you grow as an adult and transform the way that you see yourself, the way you act, the way you interact with others, then you're becoming an adult, right? Then this is how, from this space is when you can work with your child, that you can empower your child because you understand that there are certain statements that happen for you in your past, but guess what? They will be happening for your child, but you will be able to recognize sooner that, okay, so that situation at school or what that teacher said or the comment that I made to my child, I could see that made a little bit of a difference in my child's behavior or their thinking. So I need to get in there early on before that becomes a belief for them. And so when we are transformed ourselves and we can understand some of those past messages that were given to us or that we are creating in our own thoughts, when we recognize that about ourselves and we are able to rewire our thinking, that we don't think that way anymore, now we can help our kids. We can recognize and notice some of these thoughts that they may have or feelings that they're feeling, the not feeling safe or not feeling enough or valued, right? We can start recognizing that because we've been transformed ourselves. We can recognize that and we can get in there and we can help our kids change those thoughts before they turn into beliefs for themselves, or at least, help them to realize what's going on. So I think shifting old thinking is like the thing that we need to do. And like I said, 95% of the parents will not do that. But you are being told and taught, and so you have the opportunity to do that yourself. So by understanding yourself more, you can understand your kids better. And so our kids aren't broken. They're not. They are, they are like the result of the adults that they encounter. Like they have teachers, right, at school, and they're amazing, amazing teachers. Most of them have a heart for teaching, or else they would not be in teaching, because teaching, if you take teaching as a job, then it can just eat you up alive. Teaching is a passion, the passion to want to help our kids, and the passion to understand that we don't want our kids to feel not enough and not to feel limited. So, but there's only so much teachers can do in a classroom of 20 and 30 kids. So what happens is the system gets in the way of the teachers really wanting to work with the kids. So we have the educational system that's a big a big barrier for many of our kids and our families as well. And oftentimes some of those extrinsic rewards that are given to kids at school can eventually turn off the lights in the thinking for our kids. Okay, so when we as transformed parents understand what's going on, we can help our kids to realize like what is actually truth and what is not truth, and we can help them to believe the right things about themselves, turn those lights back on to learning, to empower them, to help them to discover who they are, who are they created to be, what is their life, what's going on, how are they going to transform into the adult that they were created to be. And through these actions that you'll see a different child, a child created for their unique journey. No matter what type of learning blocks that they may have, it doesn't matter. The labels are labels, but it doesn't matter, because they are beautiful, they are creative, and they are our future entrepreneurs, and the future go-getters that are in our world, right? Whatever happens to be for them, and whatever journey that they embark on is totally perfectly fine. So I think that if we can see our kids as kids that are have unique thinking and unique learning, and there's nothing wrong with them, then we can see them in a totally different light. And if we can transform our own thinking of, like when you were younger, you said, my kids are going to do this, my kids are going to do that, and they're going to do piano, they're going to do gymnastics, they're going to, all this kind of stuff. You already had your life all laid out. I did. I remember, I think I was like in elementary school, and I had taken a piece of paper. I drew out what my living room is going to look like. I drew out what my kids were going to do, and all that. That's all that messaging is coming from my parents. In my parents' life, and that's what was coming into me, the messaging that I got. So I grew up with that thinking. But guess what? When I got down the road in my adult life, nothing happened like this at all. Totally shifted, and I had to stop thinking, well, is there something wrong with me? Why can't I have this dream that I had earlier on that's sitting here in my head? There was that dissonance that was going on, and that happens to all of us. But when we can rewire our thinking and know that it is totally fine. There's nobody at fault here. That we just have taken in information and we have flipped it a certain way. That we can rewire that thinking. So now we don't have those same thoughts. And when we're transformed, we can help our kids. We can recognize this in our kids. We can help our kids. Let our kids fail. Yes. I'm not saying always, keep them from failing. Yes, I think failure is the best key, the best teacher for all of us, right? But to also help them to be able to pick themselves up and to translate what happened and what's going on, and that they are good, and that there's nothing wrong with them, not at all. So thank you for showing up on the live, and if you catch the replay, thank you so much for watching and jumping on the replay. And so if this is resonating with you and you want to take this a little bit deeper level, you can in the comments, I'm going to put my link to my calendar. And you can hop on there, find something that matches for you. It's a good time. And let's hop on a Zoom, like a 15-minute talk with me Zoom call. That's all it is. There's no strings attached at all. But it's just, if we want to talk and just get an idea of what some of your visions and goals are and maybe what's going on with that, I'd love to do that. So click the link and you can, I'll put that in as soon as I finish this live. And then we can chit-chat over Zoom link and see what's going on. So, I will talk to you later, and I look forward to chatting with you, and bye for now. Bye-bye.